The following presentation is rated TVMA.
Good evening, ladies. I will say and gentlemen, but ladies. Welcome to our first ever podcast for Sluts for Smuts. Tonight we will be talking about the first book of the Vicious Lost Boys series called The Never King by Nikki St. Crow. I am Kitty McFly, and these are my hostesses.
Emerald Nix.
Nixie Raven.
All right, and we are glad to be here. We're all a little nervous, but we're here, aren't we, ladies? We're here.
We are here. Yes, we are
here.
This is crazy for us. All right, so we're going to be talking about The Never King by Nikki St. Crow.
It is definitely not the Peter Pan that we grew up with, ladies.
It is not the Peter Pan we grew up with.
No.
Not
Not your mother's romance novel.
No.
Also that.
Yeah, no.
Not your mom's Harlequin novel, ever. No.
No, this is a lot more spicy than my mom's Harlequin novels.
You think so? I don't even... I vaguely remember reading my mom's Harlequin novels, like, over her shoulder, but, like, as a young kid, I vaguely remember. So, I guess we should talk about, first of all, if you are watching this and you have not read the book, major spoilers through the whole thing. So, if you want to read the book and not have any spoilers, I would just, pop out right now, because we're going to ruin it for you.
And watch it later.
Yeah. Read the book and then watch the podcast. But make sure you share it, because we need all the love that we can get.
All the love.
All right, so I guess we'll talk about the main gist of the book, and we already know it's based on
gist, because there's a lot of jizz going on.
There's a lot of jizz. Yes,
there's a lot of jizz going on. There is. So, years after Wendy is in Neverland, apparently she somehow stole Peter Pan's shadow, which, I mean, okay, when we were growing up, we knew he lost his shadow. We just didn't know she stole it, right? Okay, Cool. So now he kidnaps the Darlings on their 18th birthday, takes them to Neverland, and when they come back, they are not right in the head.
No. So he kidnaps him and tries to make him help find his shadow, but none of them know where the fucker is.
How are they supposed to know something that their ancestor did a couple of hundred years ago?
Exactly.
Right.
But hey, whatever. So Winnie, Darling, is taken to Neverland with the 4 main Lost Boys and a bunch of other Lost Boys. and we'll talk about fucking Cherry. And then she
Cherry.
ends up falling in lust
With all of them?
It's definitely in lust. It's not in love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she
I would
was-
call
I
it
don't
love.
know that she's capable of love, just based on her character profile.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about that. We could talk about each character profile of each character. I mean, we can always start with Winnie since, the book starts with Winnie.
Badly. Not a very good. I mean, the first
Badly.
beginning part is like not. It's not a good
Like,
mystery.
Straight up, first chapter, they're like straight up into like, she's a hoe. Like, she's sucking some
She a
dude's dick
She a hoe.
just because she wants to.
Having sex with somebody somebody in the car.
Hmm?
And it's not even good sex.
No,
Like,
it's
it's
not. I'm gonna
bad
fake an
sex.
orgasm just so you'll take me home.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
win-win.
okay,
Like,
let's
go ahead. You get off. Leave me the fuck alone afterwards.
Right?
Right.
Not even good. So we already know she a hoe. She a traumatized hoe, but she a hoe.
Very, because her mom was also kidnapped by Peter Pan. And then it's almost it's 18th birthday. It's almost her 18th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes home and her mom's like, hey, I'm going to make you a PB&J. I'm going to traumatize you some more. And then I'm going to dip the fuck out. And then Peter Pan's going to come and kidnap you the same night.
Yep. I'm gonna lock you in this room. I'll fall asleep and hope he doesn't come, which we all know he's gonna come, right? All right. So then there's Peter Pan.
I think it's important to note that in the beginning of the book, she doesn't believe her mom. She thinks her mom is absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah.
She does not believe
shows
anything that her mother is saying.
Well, would you believe that your mom, that Peter Pan comes and kidnaps every woman in your family?
No.
Well, no, I just think it's important to note that for later in the book.
We're talking about Peter Pan here.
Right.
The lost boy with his Tinkerbell and he flies around in tights. Like, come on now. Would you really believe that Peter Pan is going to come and kidnap you?
No.
Probably not.
She says she wouldn't have either.
Yeah. See?
Trace is like, nope.
Nope. Not in a million years.
That's the Peter Pan that we grew up with. But
exactly.
Then they describe Peter Pan. And he's more like this thug, like tattooed,
tall, tatted, big dick motherfucker.
Right,
like, whoa, who?
Whoo! And I'm sitting here thinking, this is not the Peter Pan that I grew up with.
No, like the Peter Pan I grew up with was a boy, and he was like this big, and you didn't want nothing to do with that.
I thought you never grew up on Neverland, but apparently you do.
Gangster Pan.
Gangster Pan.
He's not wrong.
Not wrong. So he takes her to Neverland, and the first one that she wakes up to is
Bash, or was it
Cash?
Cass.
Cass? Yeah,
I don't know.
Cass
There's
that she woke
twins.
up to.
They're apparently hot.
Bash and Cass are the twins.
Yeah, hot. Fae twins. One's got long, luscious black locks. The other one cut his hair off. They don't have wings.
No.
They don't have wings in this. They're not the kind of fairies. They're the, hot, sexy, fae kind of, I don't know, kind of fairies. I don't get that.
They're banned.
They're banned. Well, we don't know if
they
they're
have
banned.
pointy ears.
Pointy ears could be hot.
Say that, do they? If they do have pointy,
No,
but I think
they don't. I just thought of that.
I think more like elves than fairies with pointy ears.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. And then you have Vane.
Damn twins, Lindsay.
I'm telling you, twins.
Twins, Basil.
Big facts. Big facts.
Big facts. And then you have Vane, who is just that tall, silent type that
Tracy.
Tracy.
We'll get there, girlfriend. We're going to get there.
We ain't there yet, but you was right. That wasn't the only pointy things in the book. You have Vane, who is the silent,
asshole.
broody type, right? Like he's just kind of like I'm just here, but if you talk to me, I'm just gonna
I'm gonna
glare
cut
at you
you.
like an asshole. Like round.
Yeah, dark and brooding. There's
Right?
always got to be one.
There's
But I
always
mean,
gonna be that one.
I think Pan actually competes very well for that role with the dark and brooding shit. They're both kind of on that same level.
He does. Pan is also very dark and brooding, but he also has like that. I don't know, that I don't want to say normal, but like normal, like vibe.
He's just
he's got an
he's just an
agenda.
asshole. Like throughout most of the beginning of the
There,
book.
I mean, yeah, like Vane's the
Asshole.
bigger asshole, but Pan's an asshole too. But like Vane's like the biggest asshole that he could be.
Mhm. This is true. This is true. All right, so ladies, who is your favorite character? I know, right?
Favorite character.
Favorite
I
one?
know mine.
Tell us.
My favorite's Vane.
Of
That's
course.
what I was gonna say.
The dark
like
and
Vane.
brooding one.
I like
Why?
I like
Why
Vane.
would you
I like the
why
dark
would you
and
like
brooding
him?
because the mystery behind the character. He's the only character in book 1 that you don't really get a read on until right towards the end of the book. And it to me, when I was reading it or when I was listening to it, because I used the audiobook, he was the only character that kind of kept me going, well, what's going to happen with this guy? Because he's just there and he's in the background and he's like not really feeding into all of the other stuff that the Lost Boys are doing, but just he's there and you know he's going to be a big part of it, but you can't tell why until you start to
Yeah.
get closer to the end of the book. So he was kind of the driving force through a lot of the book.
I can
For
see
me,
that.
anyway.
I can see
And
that.
he's
Yeah.
dark and he's brooding and he sounds like he's hot.
They're all hot.
You know, Vane's my favorite. You know why? The whole thing with the whole the shadow thing. Like, you know, when he gets pissed off and he goes fucking full shadow mode, and you're like,
Right?
that's what it is for me. It's like the switch. It's like, boom.
So that's one thing we totally skipped over is that he's from the Darklands. There's 7 islands, and he's from the Darkland island, and he has the Darkland shadow.
Yes.
Because apparently there is a life and a death shadow on each island. Peter Pan had the life shadow. That's what he's looking for. And Vane has the death shadow. And while, you know, there is that, is he going to kill me? Is he going to fuck me? Type of vibe there with him. I don't know. I kind of like the twins better.
But
and I
which
can't
one
say one or the other
I mean,
because
truthfully, I like all of them because it's a variety of different things.
yeah. But the twins are like 2 sides of a coin. You've
Yeah.
got the soft, gentle one, and then you have the one that is like an asshole. But
Yeah.
you know that if you do something to piss, you know, to hurt either one of them,
The other one's going to react.
yeah, they're going to flip. Like you'll have the soft one, brooding one, and then you'll have the other one is be the asshole. So they're like,
Yeah.
you never know what you're going to get from the 2 of them because they could be either or. Even though, you know, they look different with their hair, you don't know which character you're going to get.
It's a good question.
Which shadow would y'all pick?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I think I would go life.
I'd go dark.
I would go dark. I would go death.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, I just think it's just so much more, because it's not really just about death. It's about the darkness and like that.
Being able to harbor that darkness and make it good.
Yeah. And like do something good with it, which would be amazing.
And that's one thing in the first book, they really didn't get into the significance of the shadows as much as I think they're going to in book 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think until I pick life for now, but when we get into the next 2 books, that may change.
Yeah.
Subject to change based on information.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any important scenes? I mean, other than those, because those are all important.
Where there's always the scene, where he says that, talking about how we don't fuck the darlings because that's what got us into this mess. We don't fuck the darlings, we just break them.
Okay, but like legitimately, how long did it take them to actually tag the darling? It was like within the first 24 hours of her being on the island.
48.
Okay, so she slept off the first day, but still, a conscious time, it was in the first 24 hours of her really being awake and figuring out what was going on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because then she seduced. Who was it? She seduced Cass.
She tried to seduce Cass.
She tried to seduce Cass.
But Cass left, and then Bash came in there and she seduced Bash.
That's right. Yeah.
And then
Pan showed up and almost killed her.
Bash and fucking Winnie doing that.
Okay, now y'all.
We watched.
Now that we're on this one, okay, now that we're on this scene, let's talk about this scene. Because yes, I understand that Peter Pan was being an ass with the whole, fuck her, get yourself off, whatever, leave, cool, fine, whatever. And yeah, I understand that he, was like, I'm going to torture you by fingering you, whatever, blah, 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 get yourself off, cool, fine. But then he walks away and he didn't get any. And like, he just fucked himself over.
I mean, yeah. But they don't fuck the darlings.
Well, I know you don't fuck the darlings, but like, that darling just fucked him. Without fucking him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't.
Darling, technically.
Okay, so that is one theme in this book that kind of irritates me. And this may be an unpopular opinion. But they portray Pan as this dominant, ruling king of the island. But when it comes to the one rule that they're not supposed to break, he is literally encouraging the other Lost Boys to do it.
And he's the first one to break
it. That's in conflict with...
No.
Second one to break it. My bad. Second one to break it. But still.
But he's the second. Yes. But technically, he didn't fuck her. He didn't stick his dick in her. He finger banged her.
But still, I mean, like,
count?
And then
does it count? Does it count?
I mean, no, not technically, I guess.
I don't think that counts.
But I just, it goes against the way they're trying to portray him as this like dominant male, and then he's like, nope, never mind, forget it. We're the only ones that are allowed to fuck you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes from one dominant male to like
pick one.
A harem of dominant males.
Right.
All wrapped around this darling's finger. The darling whore.
Right.
Something.
And like in, what is it?
Who was the hoe again? Cherry or Winnie? They were both hoes.
They were both hoes.
Both hoes.
So y'all, okay, so let me explain Cherry. Fucking Cherry. Cherry is a pick-me. Y'all, she is a pick-me.
Cherry is a pick-me girl.
Right? She's a pick-me girl. She's already had sex with the twins. Lord only knows what other Lost Boys, not the top 4, but what other Lost Boys in the house she has slept with. But she is all about getting on Vane's dick. She's a pick-me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She's an absolute pick-me. And that is like all she wants.
They are, Lindsay.
Right? They are. They're so annoying.
Pick-me girls are annoying. Look at these.
What's up?
Welcome to the show, boy. You're the only man here right now. I bet 100%.
And you will hear
joining.
You will hear throughout this thing, fucking Cherry, because she just is annoying throughout the book. Fucking
She's
Cherry.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Right.
Pay attention to me.
That's why she's a pick-me.
She's a 100% pick-me. And then when she does get picked, because Pan makes Vane pick her finally, because that's the one dick that she like just she has to have. She just
He ruins her.
He
Fucks
ruins her,
up.
right?
Fucks her shit.
Cuts and scratches and bruises and just, I mean, he just BDSM at its finest, but not its finest. I don't know. That's just, she's a pick me, and when she gets it, she still wants it. I don't even get it. I don't even get it.
I think in some societies they call that Stockholm syndrome.
That is a possibility.
We love you too, Lindsay. Love you too.
Love you too.
So, and we move forward and we go through a little bit more of the content. And the next thing you see is they are allowing her to go to, and this is what I feel like is like the next big scene, is they convince the Lost Boys to let her go to the bonfire. So they take her out of the bedroom and they bring her down with the rest of the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
And she immediately is like, ooh, who can I piss off first?
Yeah.
But my favorite part about that is when Vane wakes up Peter Pan, because he, for some reason, now that he's lost his shadow, is a night-dwelling creature. So he wakes him up and he tells him that she's at this party. And they're waiting for the sun to go down. And we've all been here. We all know this. We all know this one, where he's talking about, let's think this through. Let's calm down. And you see him open that door in your head, or when you're listening to it, you know that he does this. And Vane says, okay, we choose violence. And he makes it the stupidest rhyme, right? I got this one because this one, I loved this one. He says, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, better watch out. Peter Pan is going to murder thee. And I'm just like, well, there's the childhood Peter Pan I missed.
I had no words when I heard that. So when you're reading the book and when you're listening to the book, it's two totally different things, because you read it in a different parameter. But when you hear it said, you're like, it's almost like a groan moment. You're almost like, oh, did they really just go there? And they did.
It's also like, to me, like because I'll listen to them and I'll read them. So it's like if I read it and then listen to it, I'm like, is it going to be the same like level? Like, is my brain processing the book the way that it should be, the way that they read it, you know? And usually, usually it is. And
are they reading the book the way our brain is processing it?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
And a
but
lot
that
of
is the epitome of waking up and choosing violence that day.
Yeah. I mean, usually it is. But like,
yeah.
Some books, you know, like when they do the split chapters and, you know, like it'll be the female's chapter and then the male will speak, and some of them will do the female voice doing like a male voice, and then like some of them will actually play like the male voice. It's like that just hits different.
Yep. And the audiobook is double narrated, so you have the female and the male voices.
Yeah.
See, I think I would do that. I can't do the ones where it's just a woman reading, because that's just like, well, hello, baby.
Well, I know, but like, I'm saying like, in like, because you know, a lot of them do like his point of view, her point of view, but even in that same chapter, the person narrating that chapter will do the male or female voice. But
well, even in this one, it's got, you know, Winnie, and then it's got Bash, and then it's got Cass, and then it's got Vane. So it's all separated into different ones, and you know, but it's all very. But that is the night that Peter Pan breaks his own rule.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Yep. But leading up to that, I mean, he runs out of his little hovel in the tower, you know, the cave, because apparently he's a vampire now and he has to sleep underground out of the sunlight. But he runs out, he gets to the bonfire. What?
It doesn't really make sense.
I mean,
and they don't give any backstory to it. Like, they don't explain why. I'm hoping that maybe they do later on in the series, but I don't know. But apparently he can't tolerate the sunlight now that he doesn't have a shadow. But he runs
But
out.
the fact that he runs up and he has so much power that he rips Winnie off of this lost boy's lap and puts his hand straight through his chest and rips his heart out.
Yes. It was the shadow, girlfriend. It wasn't fucking him. It was the shadow.
He didn't have his shadow.
He doesn't have a shadow.
Vane?
That's him.
Peter Pan.
No, it was Pan that did that.
Oh.
So, like, even without his shadow, he got muscles.
Mm-hmm.
But
which apparently all of them do. They're all big, tatted, big dick dudes with
right? Because what kind of a smut book would not have big tatted, big dick dudes?
Valid.
I guess.
But the way they describe Winnie as being malnourished and like skin and bones was kind of like,
she baby gap and they big gap.
right? But they found her attractive even though she was, malnourished and skin and bones.
They were attracted to her attitude.
I cannot with you, Tracy.
That's accurate.
Which
that was a straight Mortal Kombat move.
They rectify her skinniness by feeding her kitty
strawberry pancakes,
which we've all decided we are going to try at some point.
And apparently cloudberries are real. They're like a mixture between like raspberries and some other berries. I'm like, we need to try
raspberries, blackberries, and red currant.
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you guys on one of these like podcasts for this book, because there's 4 of them, we need to do cloudberry pancakes. I'm just saying.
Now y'all realize that I am the only one that lives in that grow zone, right? Y'all gonna make me go find some cloudberries?
Cloudberries?
You better start shipping it, Nixie.
Wait a minute. Pump the brakes, Nixie. You knew cloudberries were real?
I did not know they were real, but I do know what grow zone I live in. So when you said they are in the northern grow zone, I was like, oh, those grow up here somewhere. So I could probably get my hands on them if I looked hard enough.
Well, you better get some dry ice to ship them. We need this. We need this cloudberry pancake thing. We need this. This is
I will do my research.
Because it sounds delicious. Like I've never I like pancakes. I'm okay with pancakes. I don't love pancakes, but cloudberry pancakes, I'll eat the fuck out of some cloudberry pancakes.
We're gonna have to try. I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's gonna happen.
We're gonna have to do it.
Have to be a foodie party. We'll do a review. We'll make them. We'll each make them, and then we'll do like a live stream to taste them and see who's come up better.
But we have to do it while we're reading this series because that's like a thing, man.
The whole point, like cloudberry pancakes are a thing.
Of course, watch not gonna be like it's gonna be out of grow season, but we're gonna do this. It's gonna be a thing. We're gonna do this.
Probably.
It is a thing.
So squirrel, back on track.
Sorry.
Somebody sell ducks.
No, it was we were talking about it, her being skinny, and it was par for the course, y'all. Par for the course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Pan snatches her up, gets pissed off, runs off with her, takes her back, and
throws
then breaks
her
his
skirt
own
up, pulls her panties down, and more spooge everywhere.
Right.
It's ridiculous, is what it really I mean, it's not.
I mean,
it's entertaining.
It is what it is.
But they haven't heard of aftercare apparently because they're just like, okay, go take a shower.
Never mind. That's a different book.
Different book.
There's some aftercare.
Yeah, go take a shower.
Later on.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean the twins kind of.
The twins are very good about aftercare.
The twins do their little maggy thing, and they're like, we're gonna make you think we're not soft by giving you a vision. Cool, fine.
Yeah. But yeah. While we are here, we're gonna take a short break and we are gonna run a ad. We will be back with you momentarily, lovies.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
Alright, you guys, if you like scary coffee.
I hear it's really good. I've been told it's really,
I've
really good.
also heard it's very good. But if you like spooky coffee,
All right.
go for it.
Right?
Right. Back to our book.
Okay. So now we're in the shower and the aftercare and the hallucinations caused by the princes because they still have their magic, even though they don't have wings, whatever. All right. Yeah.
So let's talk about that though. Look at the way they laid that scene out. They did the nice sky and the mossy ground and all of these things.
Why?
Meanwhile, Pan's like, don't leave her out of your sight. You need to stay with her, sleep with her tonight. Nobody is to leave her alone. Because clearly he can't trust her not to do something stupid. But so they set up this big whole scene, but the thing that stood out to me in this was that she walks out of the shower, she looks around, she sees it, and she's like, oh, this is a load of shit.
It was a load of shit.
It was.
It was a load of shit. I mean, was she supposed to be impressed by an illusion?
Apparently they thought so.
Little men and their dreams.
Don't hold back. Emerald, tell us how you really feel.
I mean, really?
Well, I mean, come on.
I don't know.
They built you up to let you down.
They really did.
Well, I mean, yeah. So as we're going through this book, okay, so I'm gonna do another unpopular opinion because the main gist of this book is, okay, so here we have this darling who apparently knows all these secrets, and you've got the two twins. Now, the one thing they're not telling you is that the twins are the brothers of the queen of the Fae. And the leader of the Fae. And they have this like fucked up relationship because the twins murdered their father. And they get more into that in book 2. They don't really give a whole lot of detail in book 1. So I'm not going to go any further with that statement. Just know that it happened and that the sister doesn't like them because they did it. But so Pan has this plot to have this Fae Queen come in and reach her sticky, nasty little fingers into her mind to try and find these secrets. Does anybody else get the suspicion early on that the other Lost Boys are not behind this plot? Like that they do not support this, like they don't want it to happen. I caught the theme really early.
The 4 high ones or the lower ones?
The main 3. So the twins and Vane.
Well, they talk about their disappointment in the beginning part of the book when they talk about when they had Winnie's mom there and how protective they were of her. And that's one of the reasons that the twins start to suspect their sister. And they start suspecting her at just like literally, I want to say 24 hours before their sister comes, of purposely scrambling the darlings' minds and causing problems.
And that's why they were all going cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, because the mom had promised them something, which you don't find out until later. The mom had promised them something, but then it went bad.
Probably all promised him the same thing. They all wanted to help find Pan's shadow, and none of them knew where the fuck his shadow was.
Well, no, it's supposed to be in their blood. It's like a blood memory thing, which is why she has to go in and scramble their brains.
Yeah, but it's really hard. Like,
does Tilly know all this time? Did Tilly know
she does.
that all of the and have all of the darlings known all of this time? And then the question leads to, why is Winnie so special that her brain doesn't get scrambled?
Yeah.
Like, A, is it because her brain is already scrambled because of all the shit her mother put her through?
Probably.
Or B, well, I don't really have a B, guys. I'm pretty much sure it's all the shit her mom put her through. Her brain's, she's psycho already.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. That's obviously the reason why that she is the way she is.
I mean, I don't really think Vane cares. I think Vane's tired of the game, like bringing the darlings in and stuff. But I think the twins, like, I think they started to suspect before. But that's the first time they like voiced it to each other, is that they were suspecting that she was scrambling their brains on purpose.
Right.
Oh,
And the plot
their
thickens.
tinkles, their bells.
Yeah, with their little tinkling bells. Yeah, that's and just so y'all know, here's another little, thing. They're Tinkerbell's children. Tinkerbell married the Fey King, had the boys, and then Tilly, and then Peter Pan killed her by saying the dreaded words, "Ladies, I don't believe in fairies."
The fact you said it, why'd you say it?
Are you a fairy?
No, but maybe I believe in the Fae. Why'd you do
Well,
that?
I'm not saying I don't believe in them. I'm saying that's how he killed Tinkerbell.
No, that is
right.
I don't believe in fairies.
That was the method of the murder.
That was the method of the murder.
Which is really...
I mean, was it really murder? Or was he justified?
I think it was murder.
I kind of think he was justified. I mean, you find out that Tinkerbell stole his shadow. It was never a darling.
Yeah.
It was never a darling.
Well, I mean,
Tinkerbell stole it.
That's did, but it was a plot. It was a betrayal, yes. It was a betrayal, but it wasn't a betrayal that she did on her own. There was somebody else involved in the betrayal.
She steals it and gives it to Wendy, and Wendy hides it. But Tinkerbell stole it.
Right. And I mean, we can't glance over the fact. We can't glance over the fact, too, that not only did she steal it and give it to Wendy for Wendy to hide, but then something at least according to book 1, then what happens? What did she do? She
stabbed Wendy.
She did. She killed her.
She killed Wendy. Yeah.
Who saw it?
Why? Because she was jealous.
Right.
I believe in the book it says her sister.
Her baby sister was in the room watching it when it happened, and that's where the bloodline memory came into play.
But does anybody remember Wendy having a sister?
How they were going to figure it out.
No.
Not in the original series, I don't think.
I don't remember Wendy having a sister.
It was John and Michael.
Yeah, it was always John and Michael.
But then again, Smee in the original series was a male and not a female.
I know, but like in the books, I don't remember like anything about any of what you just said. I know Smee was a female.
So Captain Hook. All right, we're going there. Captain Hook is probably good. And then you find out that fucking Cherry is Captain Hook's sister?
Yeah. Fucking Cherry.
Yeah, but we don't learn that till book 2.
Ah.
You don't learn that till book 2. That's 2.
Oh, well. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
This is why I said we should have done multiple books in the first show.
That's okay. But you do find out that Smee is a woman. And from her description, she hot.
I agree. Like, I've been a fan of Smee since the first show.
Like,
Mhm.
she hot. And I'm okay with that.
So
I'm
then
okay with that.
we get into Tilly shows up.
Fucking Cherry,
Cherry.
that's right.
I'm
Tilly
sucking
shows
it
up.
up.
And they go into the whole scene where she's trying to read into her brain. And here comes Vane. And let me tell you, this was
Vane.
the best scene in the book for me.
Yes.
This was the best scene in the book. When he walked in, picked her ass up, he's like, we're done here. And was like, bye-bye. And then locks the door and completely ignores Pan, who is going, bring her back here. We're not done yet. I
Yeah.
was like,
And then
that's
he's
it right
gentle
there.
with her. Everything leading
Sure
up to this, you
was.
hear how he is an asshole, how he is vicious, how he is mean, how he hurts and rips and just mutilates. And then he's gentle with her.
Mhm.
He makes love to her.
Not in that scene.
Mm-mm. Nope.
It's being sarcastic.
Nope. Not in that scene. That doesn't happen.
He
That doesn't happen
takes
for a minute.
care
He
of
takes her
her.
in. He takes her, gives her a shower,
Right.
get cleaned up, takes her into the bed, lays her down, and then uses his little magi skills to put her to sleep so that she sleeps and she gets some rest. Right? Smooth operator.
Right? Smooth operator. Tucks her in, snuggles into her, gives her the warm teddy bear kind of huggy hugs, and lets her sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
Where the fuck did that vein come from?
I don't fucking know. Ain't no
Who the
vein.
hell put that vein in that body? This is the death shadow, the dark lands vein, the breaker of darlings. And I'm gonna snuggle you.
Oh.
Like, plot twist.
Right?
Of all the kinds of plot twists, that one was completely shocker.
Straight up
Yeah.
him.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Vane is the guy.
Right?
Right?
And I was just like,
Wild. Because
oh.
in the
why do
beginning,
I
I was like,
see it?
And
no, he's an
See,
asshole. And I was
for
like,
me, I liked Vane in the beginning of the book. Like the very, very first couple of scenes that they brought Vane in, I liked his character. And then that scene happened, and I was like, that right there, that is why I like that character. I like the way they made that
okay.
duality with that character of this big
So,
badass motherfucker
right.
that nobody wants to mess with.
Mhm.
And then you see this side of him, but you don't see it often, but it's there.
You really don't see it often.
Mm-mm.
Right. So, like the side of Vane, like, you know, like when he went like incognito, you know, they full getting pissed in the shadow, taking over, white hair, black eyes, like
Well, he already had one black eye with the scratch mark, which is apparently sexy.
no, he goes full fucking shadow.
Yeah,
His hair goes white, both his eyes go black.
I'm okay
He
with
goes
that.
Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan, right? I was just thinking
Yeah.
Super Saiyan.
I mean,
I just think that just threw me for a loop with that one, though. But in that deep sleep that she has, she has the blood memory
yeah.
Mhm.
that they were trying to get. The whole thing that they were trying to find in the first place.
These two.
Don't hate to play it, hate the game.
Hate the game, yep. So then she has the memory and she's like, where's Peter Pan? Where is he? Knowing, you know, not knowing that he's asleep in his dungeon. I mean, bedroom.
His bedroom.
His bedroom.
His
Yeah.
bedroom at the bottom of the fucking tower in the dark with a fucking lock on the door.
Because he's a vampire.
I mean, it sounds like it.
I mean, you have to read the book to understand if he is a vampire or not. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he's not. He sleeps in a dungeon, yo.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So
She
she
goes
wakes up
running
and
down
she's
there.
like, where's Pan? I have to talk to him. And everybody's like,
Right.
he's asleep. And she was like,
No.
where?
Wake his ass up. We got to do this.
In his
So they
room.
let him in. Vane lets her in, and he's just like, "The fuck do you want?" And she's like, "I know where it is." Well, I mean, that's, Peter Pan when he wakes up, "The fuck do you want?" She goes, "I know where it is," and she figured it out in like her dream, whatever memory blood thing, which is awesome. Yay! I hate cliffhanger books. FYI.
Yeah, you know what we haven't talked about?
What?
The brownies.
The brownies.
Oh.
The
But I
fucking
think
brownies.
we need to do a commercial break, don't we not?
We do.
It is
do.
time
We
for our
are
next commercial
due
break.
for a commercial break.
We will talk about the brownies when we get back.
Pause. All right.
That is right. Buzzkill on Thursday. Woo woo.
And if you don't know already, we have our show on Thursday, Buzzkill Cinema, where we'll be talking about the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and we will have our special guest host, Billy Pond.
What are you guys doing tomorrow night? Don't you have your sports thing? Chronic Sports
tomorrow night. Yeah, sports tomorrow night.
Sports tomorrow night.
Apparently we're talking about darts, axe throwing, and something else.
Ooh, I'm definitely watching that one because I can throwing. I will type some stuff in there about darts.
Listen, axe throwing is actually really fun, and it gets rid of a lot of aggression.
I want to go. There's a place here.
There was a place right in the road from where we live, and they closed recently, but my brother and I went for his birthday with his girlfriend, and I won, which was shocking. Because you can actually score.
Darts are just as therapeutic, though. Not the plastic ones. Steel tip darts are just as therapeutic.
Well, I'm sure. I like throwing darts too, but throwing axes and shit, that was pretty fun.
That's gotta be all.
Y'all don't want me throwing sharp, shiny shit. I'd kill somebody. It'd be bad.
That's why you throw it at a target, Nixie.
Well, yeah, but no, in my leg, I'd go to swing it, and the head of the axe would come off and fly backwards. That would be the way it would go for me because that's how my life is.
I would go and it would hit it and it would come back at me. That's what I said too. But the brownies. Brownies. Now, as I read this, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, before Nixie joined us, the brownies. As I read it, I am seeing the little brownie people from Willow. Those little annoying brownie people from Willow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
you can also compare them to the little people from Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah. Or the grumpy house elf from Harry Potter. Sirius Black's house elf.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like what this one did. Like this one reminded me of.
Or, right? You remember the Never Ending Story? You remember how Billy Crystal played the little guy that lived in the tree?
Yes, that's probably the more accurate description. I like that.
That's probably a more accurate description. But this guy was grumpy and like an ass, trying to convince Tilly to take over all of Neverland because she's the queen and that's what her mother wanted and that's how it's
what you should do.
Yeah. But what happens to him at the end of the book?
Was that the end of the book?
It was towards the end of the book when they go to the Darling's house because they have the trunk, which has been in the family since Wendy Darling. And the brownies show up and the Lost Boys lose their shit.
Yeah. That was book one. That was book one.
That was book one. It was the end of book one because Wendy Darling finds the box.
Yes, and they go and she's their mom and all that shit.
They go back to Neverland and she has a whole conversation with her mom about going back.
Yeah.
Because Peter's like, you gave me what I wanted. You can stay here. And then she was like, no, I want to go back. I don't want to stay here. I want to come back to Neverland.
Yeah, she didn't want to stay with her mom.
She a whole hoe.
And she can be a whole hoe and nobody's going to judge her in Neverland because she's got 4 guys to choose from.
Exactly.
Because she their hoe. She their hoe. She the darling hoe. So she goes back. Peter Pan opens the box, and not one, but 2 shadows. Two shadows pop out. 2 of them. One goes one way, the other goes the other way.
Everybody loves brownies.
Everybody loves brownies.
Everybody loves brownies.
Not those kind of brownies. Not those kind of brownies. Wet drink, yeah, right? So one goes one way, the other goes the other way. Pan chases his, of course, obviously, because, you know, he knows which one is his. The twins chase the other one. Mm-hmm. We almost lose a twin.
That's book
almost
2.
Lose a twin. Duet? Nope, this is book 1.
This is all book 1.
All book 1.
Is it? I thought the cliffhanger in book 1 was when he opened the box and the 2 shadows jump out.
No.
Yes. Start of book 2.
1.
That's next week, y'all.
Yeah. And
so she opens the box and 2 shadows jump out.
And luckily,
so
we are at the end.
We are at the end.
Right. All right. Unpopular opinion time, guys. Unpopular opinion. Guys,
you've been doing unpopular opinions all night. Let's hit it.
I know. I like to play the devil's advocate. Good book, good read, quick read. I liked it. But the sex scenes in these, let's talk about this real quick, because I have never read more unrealistic sex scenes in any book that I've ever read. They're horrible.
Right? They're horrible.
I mean, yes, but how much reverse harem or like shit like that have you read?
I've read a lot.
Quite a bit. The lead up to these scenes is bad.
It is.
There's no anything around it. It's just
no foreplay. There's no
there's
nothing
no foreplay.
Like that.
There's
She's
no nothing.
Wet. And I'm sorry, y'all.
She gets bent over a table and fucked by 4 guys. 3 guys. Sorry, Vane's not in it yet.
3 guys, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. For those guys who have read this book, or those guys who are reading this book, or those guys who are listening, let me tell you right now, women do not get that wet. You need lube. You need to. You need to prep that.
They don't work that way.
Foreplay is a necessity, because I'm sorry, you're not gonna walk up and call me a darling whore and get me hot and ready. It's not gonna fucking happen.
Right.
Unrealistic book. Unrealistic. Now,
I'm glad we all agree.
Do they keep
They're
you
interesting?
Reading? They do.
They're
interesting.
Muy interesante, but you know.
To what?
Muy interesante. Very interesting.
Oh, they are interesting. And they keep you reading just to see how it's going to, or they're going to climax.
Yeah.
Which they all do. But.
They all do.
They all do. Many times over. But you're sitting there going, is that even possible? Could she bend that way? Would that be?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
She can bend that way.
Anything is possible with enough flexibility and lube.
Apparently, I am too old and unflexible, because I'm laying in bed trying to figure out how this works.
Right?
Moisture.
Trace, you're killing me.
Moisture works, but I mean, come on, Trace. Some of these, you read the book. Some of these positions, like really,
lube,
lots of lube. But even with that, girl, you need to be taking yoga like 4 times a day for 20 years to be this flexible. Or, I mean, I guess if you're 18.
Why 20?
Right. Or maybe she is a hoe.
She is a hoe.
I mean, she is a hoe. So she's probably got some practice.
Nah, girl.
Not
Yeah.
doable for this chick either. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Me either.
I'm lucky to lift my knee up to my chin, and there's no way it's going back behind my ear. Like this ain't,
Yeah.
that's not happening. But I mean, yeah, they are unrealistic, but they are written in a way that keeps you wanting to read past them. And I don't mean like skim past them, because like once you get into the scene, you're like, oh, okay, wait a second. Did she do that? Okay. And then you keep reading. It's like, what is that saying? Oh, we're not just going to skip past it. Like you didn't just say that. Because you'd be reading it.
Right.
And then at the end, you're going, okay.
Favorite line in the book. Favorite line in book 1.
Oh, hell. Okay. We did this.
We already said mine. Mine was the we don't fuck the darlings, because fucking the darlings is what got us into this mess.
Right. And then mine is in the scene with Vane, like being gentle and caring. He says, even the mighty oak believes she is strong until a man comes along with an axe to chop her down. And she says, are you the man with the axe? And he says, all men are born with an axe in their hands, darling. To take the measure of a man, you just have to pay attention to how he wields it. And I don't think he is talking about an axe, ladies. Let me tell you.
I don't think he is either. No. Kitty?
Mine is, if you're not the most interesting person you know, then you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
It's very true, though. That is a very good one. That is very good.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Book 2.
Next week.
Next week. Yep. Book 2 next week. That is going to be the... I don't remember the name of it.
Is that
my brain is not...
Is that the Vicious Darling, or is that the...
No, that's the dark one, I think.
The dark one.
Dark one.
Oh, so we're gonna learn about Vane next week.
Learn about Vane.
Gonna find out about Vane.
We'll find out.
Let's get it on.
Tomorrow night, Chronic Sports with Kitty and Mojo and Jags.
Yeah, and then Thursday we have Buzzkill Cinema with me and Jags and
Shmew
and Mike Kills and Easy 606, and we have our special guest.
Yes.
Who is Billy Pond. We're going to be watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. We're going to be talking about it. So
I watched it the other night.
It's our first celebrity interview. It's really lit.
Super excited. It'll
be great. All right. So until next week, I am Kitty.
I am Emerald.
And I'm Nixie.
And we are
slut puppies.
For smut. We are slut puppies. We like this shit, and we are here for you guys who want a normal view on it. So, like, follow, do whatever you want to do.
And
Share.
Until then.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.